is a second generation Toyota Fortuner. Let's take a look.
With a shiny new grille and sleek wraparound projector headlights, the new Fortuner has taken notes from Lexus. They've added in chrome fangs which mimic the fang light seen on the new Prado, and LED daytime runners to enhance the premium look of the SUV. The new Fortuner is both longer and wider than the previous version, but a little bit shorter. Ground clearance drops to 193 from 220mm in the older model. They've gone for a floating roof design, and though you still have the sloped C-pillar, Toyota have decided not to paint it. There's a chrome trim that circles the SUV and helps differentiate the roof from the body, adding to the floating roof appearance. Around back, you get more wraparound lights, with LED tail lights incorporating aero fins, helping reduce the drag caused by those wraparound lights. The 7-seater gets a brand new interior, giving it a more refined and high-end look, something we're seeing more of in the 4x4 market. The Optitron Blue instrument cluster is laid out with two large round meters for your rev counter and speedometer, with a digital display in the middle which provides you with all your vehicle drive info. This can be accessed through the buttons on the right side of the multifunction steering. You also have your audio, voice recognition, and phone controls on the left. The leather trim that frames the infotainment and climate control help compartmentalize the dash, separating the passenger and driver sections. Looking closer, you have a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system, which is quite responsive, though the resolution on it isn't as great as what you see on the higher-end Toyota models. It's got all the usual connectivity options, including Bluetooth and AUX. Below that, you get the dual-zone climate control panel with a relatively simple layout. The blower is quite powerful and welcome in our heat. The driver transfer switch lets you select between 2-wheel and 4-wheel drive on high or low range. Even on the high setting, the Fortuner should be able to handle most of the roads here. Storage-wise, there's plenty of little compartments and cup holders, including 2 in the dash which double as storage spaces. These hide away to keep things neat. The reverse camera is mounted on an electric tailgate, which you can open with the key or buttons on the lid itself. The seats up front are big and comfy, and are both electrically adjustable. It's a large SUV, so leg and headroom isn't an issue up in front. Move to the back and you do have both slide and recline functions, but adjusted manually. These seats have a 60-40 split, including a one-touch tumble fold system. Go back to the third row and space starts to get tight. Even with the second row pushed all the way forward, it'll be a tough journey for adults back here. You are losing some luggage capacity even when the third row is not in use.
The version we're driving today is the SRV, which has the older 3-liter D4D engine. You'll know that the D4D was quite popular and was fitted in the Land Cruisers and the Prado editions of the past. What Toyota have done though is now they've shifted to a completely new engine, the GD1, that's available as a 2.8 turbocharged on the 2017 Fortuner. That one does churn out a little bit more power and a little bit more torque. The D4D gives you 164 horsepower and 420 Newton meters of torque, whereas the newer GD1 engine, despite being 0.2 liters smaller, still does churn out 174 horsepower and 450 Newton meters of torque. Basically what this means is you get a lot more get up and go. Ride comfort wise, you have to remember this is a Hilux underneath. It's got double wishbone suspension in the front and multi-link coil suspension in the back, but that doesn't really counteract the body roll, and you do feel that it's a little bit stiff. You don't get the option of changing the drive settings, the suspension settings, so you don't have a comfort mode or a sports mode. You're kind of stuck with what you got. In the other version of the Toyota Fortuner, you do get 2 drive settings, Eco and Power, with Eco mode helping you save on fuel, where the Power is, obviously power. Here it's more of a single system where if you are gentle with your right leg, you'll be in an Eco mode, and as you put your foot down, that little Eco sign will disappear. You're not going to complain too much in terms of power in this car. It gets the job done. You can pretty much point it at anything and it'll go. But I think when we test it on tarmac, it is a little unfair because the Fortuner is pretty much an off-road vehicle that's been civilized a little bit. It's not so much supposed to be on tarmac as it is supposed to be on dirt. The new Fortuner comes with 4 disc brakes, which gives you a little bit of confidence when you put your foot down to make sure you can stop, regardless of how fast you're going. And in addition to that, they have added some extra safety features. You get your basic ABS, EBD, your electronic traction and stability control, and you also get 7 airbags. This includes curtain, cushion, and everything in between. What you are missing though is stuff that you're starting to see in a lot of cars. Stuff like adaptive cruise control, lane assist, forward collision alerts. I've seen some lower end cars now coming out with this, and I'm surprised that it's not in the newer version. You also are missing the crawl function, which has been around on the slightly older Prados and Land Cruisers. I'm not sure why, because this car has been built to go off-road, and the crawl function is basically a lifesaver if you get stuck.
Something else that was missing that surprised me were the bonnet dampers. While it's not a big deal, it does take away from the premium feel they pushed for in this new model. The new Fortuner is missing a few things that would have really made it stand out from the crowd. But its new looks, new engine, and improved drive means that it remains on the forefront of the segment. Of its main competitors, only the Montero Sport will really put up a fight, as the other models lack the second-hand value, spare parts availability, and perceived desirability in the local market. Able to handle the city and thriving outside of it, the Fortuner is a great entry vehicle into the semi-luxury SUV segment.